The sheriff and the chief have me talk sometimes in public stuff, and I'm rarely nervous, but I'm scared to death up here because this is something that's personal to me. So first off, I'd like to thank everyone for being here. Obviously, it's not just because there was copious amounts of food, but I do want to thank a couple people for that. Major Robbie Rodriguez, who's here somewhere, Louis Rivera, they've been up since midnight last night smoking 200 pounds of pork butt. Which was graciously donated. And again, this goes to the efforts of the sheriff and the chief and really the whole agency that, Kyle didn't want this, actually asked us not to do it. And we talked him into it that it's not about him, it's about people who want to say thank you to him. So he's a reluctant participant, but when we decided to go with that, Sean at Master Purveyors wouldn't let us pay him for 200 pounds of pork in this economy and things like that. The Ziad and the Casbor family at Bubba Q's wouldn't let us pay him for sides for 200 people. Publix, Chick-fil-A wouldn't let us pay him for drinks for 200 people because of the outreach of this agency and this sheriff and the sheriff's office. So again, thank you to our community partners. If we give them a round of applause. And looking at the slideshow before me or behind me, I think I need new friends because the only pictures I have are of Kyle and I. I'm auditioning new friends after today, but we'll keep this as informal as possible because that's what Kyle wanted. But it starts with our boss, and it's an honor to serve with him at this agency. He leads from the front. He outworks us all, and he is constantly challenging us to find new and innovative ways to make this community safe. So without the long introduction, Sheriff Chad Chronister.
Thank you, Colonel Ura. Wow, that was a big assumption to make that Bob thought you and him were friends. It's great to see everybody. Thank you on behalf of the 4,000 men and women of the Sheriff's Office, and I look out and I see a lot of retirees that are here today, and I always have to give pause and thank each and every one of you that are here. You guys paved the way to professionalism that all of us share today. Now, I continue to tell our employees it's our job to make that path wider and to have more of an outreach and build on that foundation. But to all the retirees, let me start with you. Thank you. Thank you for what you've done for this agency. Thank you for all the mentoring that you did. When Kyle and I talk often, and a lot of times we talk about is all the people that mentored us and helped us get to this point. This doesn't happen. You know, Colonel Robinson, as talented as he is, didn't have a magic wand and it brought him to all this success regardless of where he was assigned in the agency. It came with a lot of mentoring, and it's something that we continue to focus on today. So I have to just take a moment again and thank all the retirees that are here. I see you sprinkled around the room here. Thank you. Thanks for the impact. Thanks for leaving this agency stronger and better than the way you found it. We all benefit because of it. When I became the sheriff almost 5 years ago, next month, the chief and I sat down and we started coming up with a foundation of core of individuals that we were like, okay, we want to take the agency in a different direction, and it's no disrespect to the previous regime. We wanted to do things different. We thought law enforcement was evolving at a rapid pace, and we needed to evolve with it. And we wanted to make the agency about the employees. We wanted to make a larger capital investment in them, get them what they needed, whether it was tools, equipment, training, resources, benefits. It's something that we focused on and continue to focus on. And then we had to think about crime reduction strategies. You know, all these 13 to 15-year plans that we were originally having in discussions with this population growth that was happening in Hillsborough County, it's all now 3 to 5 year plans. So we had to expedite every vision that we had to do it more expeditiously. Well, the first thing we had to do is promote that core and establish that executive staff that we knew would be the foundation, the core that would help establish the culture of the office and move forward. Again, with very important mechanisms in place. When you talk about crime strategy, when you talk about your resources, we're short. We're 370 deputies short. We got approved for 60 new positions the next 7 years to keep up with the growth. Tell the county commission, who's been very generous, please hold on to the money. The bill will come due. Let us hire these other individuals first. But the reason I say that is because it becomes even more imperative when you're talking about different strategies. You have a lot of things you want to do, but you don't have all the people to do them. And what you do have, and where you do find the comfort, is you have the right people doing it. I'd rather work short, and I sound like a broken record, I'd rather work short with the people we have, knowing that they're the right people that fit the culture of the sheriff's office, than hire one wrong person that doesn't fit the culture of the sheriff's office, and you see us on national television exposing some type of weakness, whatever it may be. So we knew it would be important, it would be critical to who we would promote. Well, the first person we talked about that was almost a no decision, a no-brainer, was Kyle Robinson. We wanted to establish our executive staff around Tim, so it was all hush-hush. The transition hadn't happened yet, so we called Colonel Robinson. We said, hey, can you meet us at an off-site? The chief and I need to talk to you for just a couple minutes. So we went in and said, listen, you've always been a visionary. You've always been able to look around the corners. You've always been great at outreach. You've always been phenomenal at building relationships. I think one of your greatest strengths is you understand the importance of relationships. You're a people person. Because when you talk about crime strategies and deploying resources, yeah, that's very important. But there were a lot of intangibles that Kyle Robinson exemplifies, symbolizes. When you talk about a man of faith, when you talk about a great family man, a great father, a great son, a great brother, and a great husband, those were the intangibles. That's part of the culture of the sheriff's office. When you talk about the character, the integrity and cloth of the sheriff's office, and how that was going to be established with a new sheriff and a new chief, we knew it would begin with Kyle Robinson. Kyle, you've done a phenomenal job. You've exceeded Chief Lazinski and I's every expectation. You never get flustered. You never get bothered. And if you get angry, I've never seen it. You're effective, you're passionate, and you're tireless. And I don't think anyone has a larger heart for doing what's right by the people in this agency or by the agency or by this community than you. You exemplify success and integrity here at the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. To your family, you guys can find a lot of comfort knowing that, I say this at a lot of retirements, it doesn't matter what your rank is or what your job here is at the sheriff's office. It matters that you left it better than the way you found it. It matters that you made it stronger. You've continued to contribute to make this such a safe community as it is. Your father's one of the best that I've ever seen in the business. Personally and professionally, I could never, ever express my gratitude enough. Whether it was a late night phone call, something I needed personally, something that we had to work at to make sure that I was even standing here today, and that didn't come automatic. You were always there, and you're always rallying the troops to go contribute and make whatever assignment you had or whatever you deemed as a priority successful. Thank you. Thank you for everything you've done. And to your family, he did it right. This agency is better because of Kyle Robinson. This community is better because of Kyle Robinson. I do have a couple things that I'm able to present you with. And before I do, I just want to address some individuals with the Strawberry Festival. Starting with Paul Davis, one of our great mentors in the agency that Kyle and I, a lot of us stand in here, we always talked about them. When we first came in the office, I had to say, listen, I just want all of you to know we're the them now. They're looking at us to see how we're supposed to do it. We have an agency filled with a lot of talented people, and they want to do the right thing. It's up for us to show them what the right thing was. And it's your generation, Paul Davis, that showed us how to do that, and that carried into your success at the Strawberry Festival and the vision you had there and how much that's grown. I was just talking to Sandy and talking about what makes it so successful, besides not having alcohol served there. But what makes it so successful is this family-friendly, faith-based event that people, doesn't matter who you are or what you do, can go and enjoy some family time. And that's one thing we can't take for granted anymore in today's society. As the family unit breaks down, we need to do everything we can to strengthen our family bond with everyone in our families. And that starts with you. I told you this briefly when we spoke a couple of weeks ago, that yes, your legacy, my legacy, legacies of people working here will certainly be how you left the festival and all the things that you've accomplished. But I assure you, Sandy, all the directors, everyone that represents the Florida Strawberry Festival here today, a big part, to me, a big part of your legacy is cemented because of how you left it in such a great place, and you left it in great hands. And I am excited to continue to be that community partner the Sheriff's Office is committed to being. And I'm excited to see Kyle Robinson take the foundation you build and honor you and honor the legacy by making it even a greater event it's hard to call it an event, just an even better institution here in Hillsborough County. So thank you. With that, Kyle, if you could please come up, and we do have a couple of presentations. And Bob was supposed to hand this to me, so I hope he doesn't think I'm going to be his friend.
Michael Hannaford's looking for somebody.
They say a lot in life is all about timing. Colonel Robinson, we gave you a plaque, just a small token of our appreciation, and it reads, your leadership, experience, and dedication to serve elevated the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office to a level of excellence. Because of you, Hillsborough County is a safer, stronger place. After 27 years of dedicated law enforcement service, your retirement is most deserved. And on behalf of the nearly 4,000 men and women of the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, congratulations and best wishes. The command staff has also taken up a collection, and here's a gift card for $17 to Bass Pro Shops. Here's a gift card to Bass Pro Shops. Please, we know how much you love the outdoors, and only hope you include some of us to enjoy it.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
With that, thank you, everyone. Like I'm ending the program. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for coming for the food. But I did want to thank everyone, too, that contributed to making today such a big success. It's important that we take time to honor each other. And today, I can't think of a greater person, a greater event to pay homage to than the legacy and everything you've done and the impact you've had in the office. Again, Miss Karen, your son has certainly had a tremendous impact, and I, like you, am excited to see as he turns the page in this next chapter in life to see what he'll accomplish. One final thing we did get was a shadow box that we had made. You going to present that, Vanna? Yeah, you want to hold them both up so they can see it? No. The other day, we're sitting in executive staff, and Bob showed me the shadow box. And I'm going to be honest with you, I thought it was a little lackluster. I said, did Colonel Robinson make somebody mad or piss somebody off? You know, I've seen these big, tremendous creations, and I'm like, I don't understand it. Well, like a lot of times when I open my mouth and insert my foot in it, I was told that this box that we're presenting to Colonel Robinson today is an exact match of his grandfather's shadow box he got for completing his service at the Sheriff's Office as a chief deputy, I believe. So, again, hopefully that I wore my mint-flavored shoes that day. It makes all the sense in the world now, and I don't think we could get a box as big as this room that would have the same symbolism and meaning as the one that is an exact replica of the one that your grandfather who served. So I know that your grandfather and your dad are looking down on you, and I tell you what, when you go outside and see how warm it is and how hot it is, it's probably from the radiant smiles from up above and from heaven. So congratulations.
And now the sheriff gets to be the sheriff, and his name is on some stuff and all that, but let's not get it confused, all due respect, Sheriff. There is a person who runs this office. It's a $500 million Fortune 500 company that keeps the lights on, keeps us all equipped, makes sure we all have great stuff, and she's an amazing boss and an amazing woman. It's the Chief Deputy, Donna Lazinski.
Thank you, Bob, and I have all the friends I need. No, just kidding. I'm teasing him.
Keep trying.
Kyle, I just want to start. I didn't have the opportunity to work with Kyle when I first started. He was on the east side, which I had no idea where that was, coming from New Jersey and getting assigned to Suitcase City, so I was more west side. So we didn't have an opportunity to work together very much in the beginning. And quite frankly, until I saw some of those pictures, I never knew you had hair. When I met you, I had the opportunity to work with Kyle and SID as detectives, and that's where I first got to know you. And fortunately, unfortunately, I moved along and didn't get a chance to work with you long. But as supervisors, we work together in SID and CID. And although those sounds like fun positions for supervisors, can be very challenging. In SID, you're worried about our undercover detectives and deputies, their safety, and just making sure everything's okay. And Kyle was always somebody that was involved, knew what was going on with his troops, knew where they were, what they were doing, and could always be relied upon, as the sheriff said, to get us the facts, to make sure we're doing things right while taking care of his people. And he always did that. And he always helped take care of, I'll say up as well, helped take care of me. And then we had the other opportunity to work in CID together, which, Rebecca, your whole family, I know the sacrifices you guys had to make during that time. Those are call-outs, as many of you know, in the middle of the night, holidays, weekends. You sacrifice a lot, so just thank you for what you all have done for that. But I could call Kyle no matter what time. He might be a little groggy at first, as we all are getting that call. But again, there was nothing he ever said no to. Go out in the middle of the night, take care of this. We worked some horrendous cases during that time period. And he worked with our detectives to make sure we were doing what we needed to do, but most importantly, making sure that they were okay. That they were okay with the job and what impact it had on them. And you made my job easier. And as the sheriff has said, people don't realize, I think, all the things you do behind the scenes. You're always looking out what's best for this office, what's best for our employees to make sure they have what they need to do the job. So just in keeping short, as I usually will, I just want to personally thank you from the bottom of my heart for what you've done for me and helped make my job easier. And professionally, thank you from all the men and women at the Sheriff's Office for what you've done for this organization.
So normally in these kind of retirements, we allow for people to come up and say, but it's way too big of a group, and I'm afraid we'll leave people out. So we'll move along with the program, but we've left Kyle's going nowhere. He doesn't have to start until Monday, Paul, even though you've had him working every day for the last 2 weeks, to get pictures and stuff and talk. So and I want to get Kyle some time up here too. But if you'll grant me a minute or two, that he. I was going to try to call CNN and say that the pandemic is back full force and that the festival should be canceled for a couple of years so we could keep him on board for a couple more years and things like that. But I could not be more happy. I met Kyle in 1997. I didn't grow up here. I didn't go to high school here and barely could spell Hillsborough County. And for some reason, he allowed me to latch on to him. And we've been doing this thing for 25 years. He's been doing it for 27. I started 2 years after he did. And I told him, and it's the truth, that I'm not sure if I'll know how to do it without him, just because of not the job part, but being able to say, hey, do you think this is a good idea, which mostly his answer is no, sounds like a horrible idea. But then he might say, well, let's do it anyway. No, and personally, thank you. I owe certainly my career to the sheriff and the chief, but a strong bronze medal is my friendship with you and allowing me to kind of tag along, especially in the early years and things like that. And then your mom and dad allowing me to enjoy birthday parties and growing up and things like that, and our kids born and sitting in cars. For some of us here, there's a lot of old narcs in here and stuff like that, and people think on TV that it's all about the hustle and stuff like that. What it's really about, and me and you here know, it's sitting in a car for days, waiting for something to happen. The only people that wait for dope deals is cops, right? And we'll wait, and we'll wait, and we'll wait, and we wait. So you sit in cars, and I've sat in cars with a lot of you, and we get to talk, and we talk through, births of our kids, and deaths of our dogs, and passings of our fathers. You are, as the sheriff said, it's what you see is what you get. Remember that Kyle Robinson always started every conversation. I know there's a little bit of this kind of whatever happens down at the SOC, maybe they're a bit disconnected and all that kind of stuff. It's not true, because I can tell you every conversation starts with something to this effect. Let's look at this at the light most favorable to the deputy. That starts every conversation down there with this sheriff and this chief and this command staff. It doesn't, again, doesn't mean that sometimes there's hard decisions to be made, but he was willing to help us down there make decisions and stuff as a team. Some of you have been around a long time when personalities down there didn't always mesh, and there was some infighting and stuff, and it hasn't been any better with the group that we've had over the last several years. So, that and the laughter, and to make an omelet, you got to break a couple eggs, and we made some omelets, and I appreciate you, Mr. Robinson. I wish Jimmy Dan were here. Wish my dad was here too. He'd want lifetime, in writing, lifetime free corn dogs and milkshakes. But I wish Jimmy Dan were here. You hit the lottery once, being able to do a job that you love for 27 years, as all of us here, but to hit it twice and then be able to transition to a second dream job, nobody gets that. But Kyle Robinson does, because he deserves it. Before I start crying or something silly, none of this is possible, and the sheriff said it, without some support of some pretty special women. The first, because she came first, doesn't mean it's ranked in any way. Kyle, if you could come up, I've got the office has got some flowers for your mom to thank you for her support throughout the years.
Thank you, thank you,
Great
thank
job,
you.
Mom.
You don't have to say a
Thank you.
speech.
And equally as important, and the sheriff mentioned it and the chief mentioned it, we got to probably accelerate our careers a little bit, because we were, running and gunning early on. And when you look back on it, it was insanity. The times that we wouldn't come home at days at a time, and everyone thinks it's a joke, but literally buying cocaine from strippers and things like that, and having for the greater good. But having the support both of us have had, I guess we hit the lottery again. With Steph and Rebecca sitting there and being able to raise great children and support us all the way. So also some flowers for Rebecca, if she can. Stay there, it's your turn.
Okay.
And again, afterwards and things like that, we've got cake, plenty of food, please, because I'm going to get off this stage. But if you help me welcome the man of the hour, Kyle Rouse.
Thank you, Bob, and I'll be your friend. I just can't carry you along in your career anymore. Those days are over. I've done it for 25 years. I can't do it anymore. Hey, when I walked in today, I saw a lot of empty seats, and I'm so glad that they're all filled, and I even see people out in the lobby there. It means a tremendous amount. It means I may have done something right. I see retirees. I see Gary and Billy Passmore. Billy taught me that you can arrest somebody for disorderly conduct in their own living room. And before that, I did not know. But Kenny Davis, another mentor of mine, you saw him in some of the pictures. We worked undercover storefronts together, and just great times looking back. And so many people here, and thanks to each and every one of you for being here. I am especially appreciative of my new Strawberry Festival family. They fill up a couple tables here. It means a tremendous amount that you're here, and it makes me confident that we'll continue to succeed together. And certainly goes without saying, Paul's been a tremendous impact on my life, not only here at the Sheriff's Office, but continues to take me under his wing and teach me. And I know that our next few months working together through the next Strawberry Festival will certainly help me be successful. I first worked for Paul Davis beginning November 17th, 1999. And I remember that day for a reason, because it changed my life. It changed the trajectory of my career. And you mean so much to me, Paul, and I appreciate y'all coming today. Bob thanked a lot of people for the food. Again, Robbie, thanks for cooking. I know you didn't sleep a wink last night, and those that donated the food, thanks. Kyle Cummings put a tremendous amount of time into putting these pictures together. I thought he was just going to throw them together, but I've seen him, I watched him diligently working in there, because he actually put them in chronological order. Nobody's mentioned it yet, but my youngest son on Facebook Live in Owensboro, Kentucky, and I wanted to say hello to Ryan. He's up there chasing a dream, playing some baseball. So I wish you were here, buddy, but chase your dream. My oldest son, RJ's here. He made a trip. He lives in Gainesville, just graduated University of Florida, and he came down for this. And certainly that's why my feet hit the floor in the morning, to go to make a living for those young guys and set them up for success. Thanks to so many. I do want to take just a minute to say thanks to somebody who has really helped me in the last few years. Is Jen Reynolds is making her way up. Come on up. So we've been to these before, and you know it's kind of tradition to give somebody that's your assistant some flowers. But Jen, flowers die. And they don't last but a couple of days. And y'all know Jen's a very hard worker. She's working really hard to fix up a new house. And I asked her the other day, how did it go over the weekend? Are you working on the house? She goes, I'm working on landscaping. So I'm going to buy her some flowers that are going to last, well, if she knows how to water them and fertilize them. But here's you a gift card to Home Depot that you can buy a whole lot of plants.
Thank you.
So we've all thought about retiring. Some of the retirees know that you think you know what you're going to feel when you hit this day. I thought I would feel like it's the end of fifth grade and you're running out for summer break and you're elated and you're excited, but actually it's much different. It's the last few months, knowing that this was kind of in the works. I've been very reminiscent and some memories that really have not come up in a lot of years have come back, and it's just different. But when you look at a career as a whole, what makes a career special is the people you work with. It's you. It's why this room's full. It's why I feel privileged that each of you took the time to come today. I feel very, very fortunate. I feel fortunate that I've worked for 3 great sheriffs. Cal Henderson hired me, and for many, many years, every time I saw him, I said, "Thanks for paying my bills for all these years," because he gave me a shot. And in fact, I said it as recently as Frank and Liz's wedding when I last saw him. I said, "Thank you for paying my bills all these years." David G., who I spoke with this morning, I would tell him, "Thank you for the opportunity." When he was elected sheriff, I was a detective. When he retired, I was a major. He gave me a lot of opportunity. I never said thanks for the promotion. I always said thanks for the chance. Thanks for allowing me to have an opportunity. And to Sheriff Chronister, I know he's got somewhere to be, but I'm glad he stayed. But over the last few years, every time I'd say to him was, "Why'd you promote me to colonel? I was happy in D5." You know what I mean? Yeah, there's some truth in that, but the sheriff mentioned it, and the chief. I don't know if I've ever been happier at a day at work when I was asked to meet them off-site so people wouldn't start talking, and they said, "You're part of the future, and you're our first promotion when this thing takes off," and but you can't tell anybody, so that was a little tough, but it was quite an honor, and in all honesty, what I do say to the sheriff, and I said it unplanned and unrehearsed. He came into my office one day, and I said, "You know what, boss? You're the right man for the job, but you're more than the right man for the job. You're the right man at the right time, and you've bridged some gaps that no other sheriff could do, I don't believe. You've been the tip of the spear and taken us to where we are today, and I know that under your command, this agency will continue to be successful, and I do appreciate that, and I just appreciate being a part of it, Thanks to my family. What a great crew to make the trip over here today. As was mentioned earlier, my grandfather, my mom's dad, Jack Dempsey, had a long career here, evidenced by his badges there that are such a treasure. But when I started this job, my mother said, "I don't worry about your safety. You're trained. I'm confident in what you can do. I worry about this job changing your heart, hardening your heart." I hope I didn't let you down. I try it every day. It's hard to do in this job, but you got to make a conscious effort every day that it's a job, and nothing's going to change the person you are. And if you find yourself doing that today, you can reverse it. So thanks for those advice. I hear it like you said it yesterday, and it was decades ago. Thanks to Rebecca. Bob mentioned it. Yeah, there might have been cocaine. Might have been strippers. But in all honesty, Paul Davis gave us the money to do it. In accounting out in OCB back then, but the Organized Crime Bureau, but accounting wasn't as good as it is today, Paul. We might have got you on a few of those deals. But Rebecca, it's hard to be the wife of somebody that chooses this for a career, and it's even harder to be the wife of somebody that likes to take the hard job, the demanding job. As the chief deputy said, the job that they call you on all hours of the night. I can remember it was back in CID days, and it was one of them weekends where the phone never stops, and I see Paul nodding his head. Paul's lived it. She goes, "You don't get tired of people calling you all the time?" I said, "I'd be more concerned if nobody called. That means nobody needs me, And actually, that's the way it felt about the last month. I haven't gotten an email in a week or two. I think I'm already cut off. I log into computers to make sure it hasn't been cut off yet. But it's not an easy job, Rebecca. You've been phenomenal, and We got married in June of '98, and less than 4 months later, I got in a shooting with my good friend Bob over here and Larry Parkington, who y'all all know. I think Larry had 4 shootings by the time he finally retired, so I think he was the bad luck in the thing. But you know, for a bunch of newlyweds, that's a big deal. And we got through it. Then we got through the narcotics days of odd hours and always gone, and not many women are loyal enough to iron your shirt to go to the strip club, but I got one that is. And very, very, very thankful. But you know, those years of tough times actually paved the way, because when the chief mentioned CID were long hours, she said, we got through the narcotics years. This is nothing, you know. So we really got a good foundation right out of the chute, and I think it's paid dividends, and you've been wonderful, and I love you, and I appreciate you. So in closing, as I mentioned, you look back on your career, and I never made a goal of rank being considered success. I never thought about you know, prestige and power ever. It was where can I fit in and make a difference. And I think I've been plugged in and been fortunate to be plugged in positions where I can make a difference. I can remember in 2006 I got promoted to corporal, and we did our first ever Corporal Academy supervisor training. I think there's a picture hanging in training still today of Corporal Academy #1, and I can remember being asked in front of the class without warning, you know, hey, when you retire, what would you want to be remembered for? And really without thinking, I said, I'd love to be remembered for somebody that identified people with talent, helped cultivate that talent, and help that person succeed in their career. And as I look around, I'm looking at faces, and I think I did okay. I did the best I could. And secondly and lastly, you know, Bob mentioned my dad passed away in December. But he gave me great advice when I started this career. He said, hey, to be successful, don't worry about making yourself look good, make your boss look good. He was absolutely right. And I've tried to do that, sure, make your boss look good. But I got to add something to my dad's advice that I'll give my kids. Yeah, you want to make your boss look good, but make those around you look good. Make those people that are working for you look good and help them succeed. That's the definition of a successful career. So, you know, I stand before you today more happy than ever that I chose a career at the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. You guys are in good shape, and I look forward to my new chapter. I'm leaving one tremendously tight-knit family to go to another, and Rebecca and I have prayed about this, and to see what door God has to open for us, and He opened this door, and we were blessed enough to walk through it. So thank you for being here. Thanks for everything, and thanks for being a part of my career.
All right, guys, there's cake. Everyone gets a pound of pork on the way out. So please take a pound apiece. There's way too much. Please take it somewhere. We'll end up taking it to a district. Thank you again. Kyle's sticking around. He's got nowhere else to be. So thanks, guys.